Okay, well, welcome everybody. It is Sunday the 20th. My granddaughter is 10 months old today, and I got to spend the weekend with her, so that was a blessing. Much needed hugs and kisses. I'm the poor girl. I mean, I can't not kiss her. I have to kiss her constantly. It's just, I know, it's crazy, but she doesn't seem to push me away yet. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Welcome. We are at the end of our book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I don't know about you guys, but those of you that were able to stick with us and do the reading and try and implement some of the things that you have learned, it's been amazing and very eye-opening. I just, I love books like this. Any kind of books on personal growth, I think are so valuable. And when we look at our life, our dreams, and our goals, most of the time, the thing that is separating us from where we are today, from where we want to get to, is our personal growth. And so I know we've been preached this, I've been with Plexus for over 3.5 years, almost 4 years. And I was in another networking company before that preached personal growth. And you hear all the top leaders talk about it and you're like, yeah, whatever, who has time for all that stuff, right? But I'm learning the more that I am involved in Plexus and the more people that I have met through going to convention, leaders retreat, all of the things, that's the number one thing they say is personal growth is what's holding you back. You need to grow. And when you grow your business as a person, your business will also grow. And I've seen this to be true. I know it's true. So I know how important it is to take the time to do these things, even if it's 10 minutes a day. You are worth it. You are worth it, and it's important. So let's jump in. I'm not going to review what Marla went over the last time we met. So I'm just going to jump right into the last couple chapters here, the last few chapters. And chapter 22 was talking about taking the first steps. Okay, so now we've learned all the things. We've learned how to do it, how to implement it. Now we have to go get into action and actually do the things. In this next week, your assignment is to really, and I've mentioned this before, but really think about your dialogue that you're having with yourself, the dialogue that the people that you are surrounded with. What is the dialogue going on with them and their selves? What do you hear them saying to themselves? What do you hear them sharing with others when you're in the background and able to listen? Consciously focus on everything and anything that you hear for the next, give it 3-4 days at least. If you've been thinking about something but haven't yet gotten it done, bring that subject up into the forefront of your mind and see what response you get from deep inside you. Is it a negative response or is it a positive response? Notice the way you respond to problems and the way that you act to different opportunities that come into your life. Do you shy away? Do you back off? Or do you think about it and move forward and take a step toward those things? Your own programming and the role it's playing in your life is life. It's what's stopping you or keeping you where you are at. So during this time that you're focusing on paying attention to your own self-talk and other self-talk around you, pay attention to those people that you spend the most time with, your family members, your close friends, the people that you work with and see on a daily basis. And make special note of that negative self-talk that you hear. write it down. Take time to write it down. Listen to the things that we call opinions. You know, this I thought was very interesting. And I know this to be true of myself. I have definite opinions on certain things, but there are certain things that I don't have an opinion on. And it's amazing when I thought about this today, when I was reviewing, those things that I don't necessarily have a strong opinion on, I am easily persuaded to the opinions of the people that I've surrounded myself with. And so that's really important, you guys. And that is one thing that we need to remind ourselves. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they the kind of people that are talking to themselves in the way that you want to talk to yourself? That's a really important thing that we need to be aware of. Of course, the main reason, that we want to observe the self-talk of these people is because spending time, the most time with these people, is wiring our own brain with our programs, but also their programs too. So big deal. I remember thinking back and often praising my kids for the friends that they would choose to have in their circle. And sometimes, leading them aside and out of a certain circle needed to be done. But for the most part, my children really chose good friends. And so this goes to show and to prove that that is very important. Choose your friends carefully, right? And be careful of the media. There's been such negativity in the media the last few years, especially. I mean, I've seen it in my last probably 10 to 15 years, totally change and really focus on the negative versus the positive more so. And I really can say that I have not watched a full news half hour even. Maybe I don't even know if I've watched a 15-minute newscast in the last 2 years, just because of the negativity. And I can't handle that in my life. And what it does to me and how it makes me feel and how it drags me down, I don't do it anymore. I ask my hairdresser. She keeps me informed with the things that we talk about, and other friends that maybe pick up the newspaper or watch the news on TV. Hey, what's going on? I know it's important to be aware of what's going on in our world, but so much of it is negative, and I just can't have that right now. There might come a time where I can let little pieces come back into my life. But we have to be in control, bottom line, right? And we have to realize who is in control here. Well, we are in control of what comes in and what goes out. And so the personal responsibility that we take is just basically is acceptance in that we have control over what we say, what we talk about, what we allow to come into our brain. On page 188, it talked about making a top 10 list of the self-talk that you want to change. We kind of did this before, but it's a real good reminder. And there were some examples that I won't obviously go through all of them, but on page 189, it starts with different examples. And I think you should review those. And I think we should review those often because, we forget and we get into our old self-talk track, and these are good examples for us to remind ourselves, oh yeah, I'm saying that again. The one about exercise. I was doing so good at the turn of the year and I was so proud of myself. And I noticed that I've not been taking the time to do it as regular as I once did. And I've been thinking about the self-talk, what's going in here. And I've been telling myself that I don't have time or I'll do it tomorrow. And that is not positive self-talk. So that's one thing that I'm going to change. And how about especially for those of us that are maybe building a business with Plexus, and if we approach others to share with their friends and family, how about the I don't have enough time? Well, I'm here to tell you, I know some of the busiest people that do this business, and they make the time. Isn't it true that we make the time for those things that are a priority in our life? That is true. We just do. We all have the time. But do we make the things that we need to make a priority in our time, such as reading 10 to 15 minutes a day? So I loved that. That was a good reminder for me too. Okay, talking about overcoming personal stasis. I really liked this example because it made me think of a number line and 0 being in the middle, and we have the negative on one side and the positive on the other side. And much of the time we can find ourselves in personal growth stasis. We can find ourselves in the middle of that number line, not necessarily moving over to the positive or to the negative, but kind of stuck somewhere in the middle. And this is the challenge that we face on a daily basis of staying in one place and living in between our two options, the two things that we need to make a decision about, or the opposite positions, I guess you might say. Where you've been up to now, your unlimited future, and where you'd like your life to go next. Those are kind of the two things on either side of that 0. When we're in stasis, we're basically in the middle between our past and our future, if that makes better sense. I like that example. We can either stay where we're at, or we can fall back, or we can move forward. And the enthusiasm that we put into moving forward with our positive self-talk, that will get us to where we want to go. In the world of personal growth, guys, stasis is the enemy. So we don't want to be around that 0. We want to be moving and moving forward. Living with the status quo or the status quo and failing to take the necessary steps to get better is not only something that only a few people face now and then. It happens to all of us, and it happens to a lot, and it can happen over and over and over with every situation that we're faced. Something that I thought of when talking about stasis is I was at Leaders Retreat just recently last week, and it's the most amazing, other than our convention that's coming up here in June, which, by the way, you all should be going to convention. It's easy to get to. It's amazing. It will change your life in a positive way. And you can register. I think the deadline is tonight for the $79 registration fee. Let us know if you want that. It's amazing, whether you're doing the business or not. It is so eye-opening and so life-changing and such a positive experience. You need to get yourself in a seat. So anyway, getting back, Leaders Retreat puts you on a high, and so does convention. It puts you on a high. When you go home, you feel like you're ready to conquer the world. And then you get home and life happens. And then you have a lot of decisions that you have to make. And you have a lot of positive self-talk that you have to talk your way through. And so external motivation and going to retreats and things like this, they can be temporary. That motivation that you feel when you're ready to take on the world, and then you go home and you're faced with reality. And basically reality sucks sometimes. I mean, it does. And so we have to continue with this self-talk and personal growth in order for us to continue toward our dreams when we get knocked down with that reality. Personal growth stasis stops your growth. It wastes your time. It drains your energy. It lowers your self-esteem. and it can affect your health. It can make you feel guilty because you're not progressing in your goals. It keeps you off focus and messes with your mind. It stops you from setting new goals, and it can justify doing nothing. And that's not good. We don't want that, right? It can rob you of your spirit. And you can feel like, oh, what I just went through, what I just did, it wasn't worth it because I can't sustain it. Well, that's where positive self-talk comes in. Releasing yourself from those shackles of stasis is very important. And motivation, we know, doesn't last. Even the strongest of dreams can fade in the morning light. And so we need to wake up with a grateful heart and continue in telling ourselves that we believe in ourselves. We can do this. As Tiffany Peterson always says, and I've mentioned this before, what do you need, sweetheart? Ask yourself that 2, 3, 4 times a day, 10 times a day, so that you are filling your own cup and doing what you need to continue that positive self-talk. There are some examples on page 197 through 199 that will help us getting past being status quo, getting past the stasis and moving toward the positive end of that number line. So I won't go through all of that because you guys have ability to read it on your own. But I know that making a goal of giving myself positive self-talk every day and making this a permanent part of my life, that's the only thing that's standing in the way right now of me and my goals. Is it what's in the way of you getting to your goals? We all have the right and the need to gauge and to judge and to assess our own actions moving forward. Are we getting anywhere or aren't we? Are we getting by, or are we just doing the best that we can? Sometimes doing the best that we can is all we can do, and you have to give yourself grace in those times. But we need to remember too that, is it something better or more that we do want? For the most part of making a change isn't the real part. Change is what we see in our future, but talking positively to ourselves is what we need to do to move toward that change. We can change friends, spouses, jobs, locations, and we can still take time with our inner selves and look at those internal identities that make us happy, help us out, or get us into trouble in the first place. But we have to remember again that that's a personal decision, and how we decide and what we do will affect that moving forward. The conditioning of our daily living somehow convinces us that mankind's greatest need, social survival, is also each person's greatest achievement. Isn't that the truth? We all want to be liked. We all want to be supported. And we all think that's most important. And while it is very important, it's not necessarily most important. I'll end with this. I want each of us to decide, to determine what our own next step is going to be, and thereby your future. Make the decision to make each breath you breathe your own. Take responsibility for it. Stick by it. Each breath, each step, each motion, each achievement is your own. It's the making of your own choice. Neuroscience research has proven this. What you conceive and give your energies to will create or call upon a life force that will turn your dreams into touchable reality. It's proven. Learn how to think, and what you think and what you will begin to determine, and then redirect most of that to your future And what will happen? If you learn how to think and what you think, you'll put yourself back in control again. And finally, with this help of neuroscience, we've also learned to manage the one part of our lives that is the heart and the substance of everything we will ever do. We have learned to manage our minds. We have learned that what life happens next for each of us is more up to us than we might have thought. It is up to us what we think. Talk to yourself. Learn the words, the right words, wire them in and use them. Kind, loving, caring, strong, demanding, determined words. And don't forget, in those times where you're having some negativity pop into your brain, take a minute and ask yourself, what do you need, sweetheart? Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on this journey, reading this book. This will be by my bedside, and I will be paging through it for the months to come. And I hope that you all enjoyed it and got something out of it as well. Next, we have my dear friend, Kelly Hulst, who is going to jump on, and she's going to talk to us about a specific product. I'll let you take it away, Kel. After you, Kel, we're going to have an awesome testimonial from our friend Deanna Bailey, who's so excited to share her journey with us. All right, Kel, sorry about that.
All right.
Take it away.
Okay, you bet. All right, so tonight I want to just touch on Hydrate. I'm not sure how many of you out there use this product. It's one of Plexus's newer products. I think hydration is kind of one of these misunderstood things. And part of this community, part of our wellness group, a big focus is staying hydrated, right? And we preach it all day long, day in, day out, stay hydrated, drink water, drink water, drink water. And yes, that is very true. But there's more to it than that. And especially when we are pushing our fluids, it's really important that you're also getting the appropriate electrolytes, because otherwise, in essence, you can overdo it, because when you're drinking all that water, of course, your body is going to excrete that. But when it excretes it, it's also taking electrolytes with it. So if we're not replacing those electrolytes, we can actually get into trouble. And as we're coming into these summer months, where I'm hoping I'm not the only one that's super excited for summer to get outside and get active again, it's really important to stay hydrated, especially if you're going to be out exerting yourself. And I'm encouraging you all to do that because it's so wonderful and good for you. But we're talking Hydrate tonight. So what makes this really a good product? Now there's Hydrate, there's electrolyte solutions out there in the marketplace. We all know this, but what makes this, again, a better product, a better choice, is that it doesn't have all the garbage in it, meaning added sugars. If you take a look at some of the other products available in the marketplace, they're adding artificial colors, artificial flavors, sweeteners, and then they're adding just sugar and carb load in there that is completely unnecessary. So again, we have a clean option to take with us to get these electrolytes back in our body. And it's not only the electrolytes that's in this, but they also add a couple other ingredients. So things like sweet tart cherry extract, which adds polyphenols and antioxidants in that mix. It adds aloe vera, which we know is going to help our bodies absorb even more of the nutrients that is in this product. It's also rich in coconut water in a powder form, of course, and we know that is really important as a hydration product as well. So it not only has the basics in it, but it's got more. Plexus always does it right. I'm just learning that time and time again and over again. So that is kind of my 5-minute spiel on the Hydrate. And I hope you consider learning more about these products and hydration in general. It's a great product. 2 sizes, I didn't speak on that. I guess you can get it in the little individual sleeves, which are super convenient to bring with you. But a more economical option is always to have it in the little canister with a scoop. And then you can, especially if it's in your daily routine, that might make a little bit more sense to just keep it in your cabinet. The flavors mix well with the other products too. So it's delicious mixed in the slim, in the active. put it in with your collagen powder. You can do all those things, and that's perfectly fine. All right. That's all I got.
Thank you, Kel, as always, very informative. And I used to be one of those that went to your Gatorades and your Powerades and things like that until I looked at the ingredients. Oh,
yeah.
And I mean, I used to buy those for my kids. I thought,
yeah,
well, I'll just buy Gatorade and Powerade and leave the pop, and not buy the pop. Come to find that is about as bad.
It is. So it is. And the serving size, when you look at those bottles, if you turn it over, there's like 3 servings in that Gatorade too.
Unreal.
If you're doing serving per serving, soda is probably not quite as bad, even when it gets into that.
True story.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate your knowledge and expertise in sharing that with us. And next we have our friend Deanna Bailey. Deanna has been with Plexus now for how long, Deanna?
About a year and a half.
Okay. Started taking the products, and now she's even sharing as well, and has a nice team building. I'm just going to let you take it over, Deanna. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey with these products.
Okay, great. So, by the way, it's already hot in Alabama. It was in the 80s today, just so all of you guys are, get a little jealous there. We definitely have Hydrate here, which I will say is very interesting to note that you need Hydrate, because I was always very cautious about not giving my kids Gatorades, but never thought that they needed the electrolytes. So that's really good to know. My daughter plays soccer. We do Hydrate every time. Anyways, moving on. I will tell you a little bit about my background. I'm a military wife too. And so we were getting ready for a big move this summer. And I was going through boxes, getting rid of stuff. And I found a food diary from middle school. So that just goes to show you, from middle school, I have struggled with weight and all these different things that come along with that. Over the next 20 years, ups and downs, I've probably tried every single diet that you could ever think of for just weight loss and trying to get myself to feel better. Nothing ever worked. Well, I say it worked. It worked. I would lose weight and then I would gain it back very quickly, because there was no sustaining it. I wasn't getting to any kind of root cause of why I was gaining the weight. I wasn't changing anything for myself. And I kind of just gave up. I said, it could be worse. I'm not like incredibly, couldn't walk type of overweight. I can figure it out later years. But stuff started to get worse for me. And so in 2019, I had to have my gallbladder removed. And at that point, I had such a hard time with digestion that I completely changed my diet to become plant-based. And that helped get rid of the fat that I was having such a hard time digesting. So I went from having a lot of digestion problems to completely being constipated because I wasn't eating enough fiber, I found out later. But during COVID, I started doing a lot of research on the benefits of gut health and the immune system. And so I saw a friend who was doing Plexus, but I myself didn't want to do Plexus. I wanted to try something different. So I went a different route for my probiotic and really didn't have the best experience. I just felt like I was drinking water. I didn't have a whole lot of benefits coming from it. I still dealt with digestion problems. I still had bloating. So finally I decided I would give in. I tried the Plexus, and beforehand on the plant-based diet, I was plant-based for about a year, and I lost about 10 pounds. But when I joined Plexus over the last year and a half, I've lost an additional 30 pounds. But more than that is that the inflammation has gone down. My acne has cleared up because I'm getting to the root cause of that, which was gut health. I don't have the bloating. I probably went down maybe 2 pant sizes just because of the bloating, and my belly had gone away. I was a big sugar person, not in sodas. So a while back I gave up sodas, but ice cream was one of my things. My husband and I would put the girls to bed and he would go out and get ice cream and I would, I wanted the ice cream. So but the pink drink, for real, it has done such a great job with helping me tame my sugar demon. I always recommend people who are trying to kick their soda habit to try out the pink drink because it is amazing when it comes to that. So one of the things about sharing is I was hesitant to share about Plexus at first because I tried network marketing before and it really wasn't working. I kind of said, you know what, I love the products. I just want to do the products for myself. I'm not worried about selling anything. But I noticed that once people saw the change that was happening, they wanted to know what I was doing. So it became more of I'm not trying to sell you something, but if you want to know what I'm doing, I'll tell you what I'm doing. And it's really interesting is that is what most companies are doing nowadays. Even before I did Plexus, I have an affiliate link with an essential oils company, Plant Therapy, that I love, and Gentle Feast, which is a homeschooling curriculum that I use. So when I talked about how much I loved all these things, I wanted to give somebody my affiliate link so I could get some credit for the sharing, right? That's just like Amazon influencers do. So it's just kind of like I taught myself into I'm just sharing these products. I'm just doing what everyone else always does. And that was a big switch for me too, is to know that I could help get my products paid for just by telling people the things that they need to know anyways. I love my friends and family, and I know how much these products have helped me. And so I want to share so other people can feel the same way. So kind of rambled off a little bit, but that's pretty much the story.
It was wonderful. Thank you so much. And you have 2 children.
Yes, I have 2 daughters. She's one that's almost 11, and then I have an 8-year-old daughter as well. And they are both on the multivitamins, and my youngest drinks the Mega Kids drink, and it's really helps her a lot. She struggles with digestion stuff as well, but that has really actually helped her benefit from a lot of the products as well. And Hydrate with my soccer player.
Awesome.
And my husband
so awesome.
has takes the products, and he travels a lot for work, and he hasn't been able to even be on the product for a few months, and he's like, I'm going to need you to order some stuff because I'm feeling it. I haven't been on it in a while, and we're going to have to figure something out how to get it for me. So he's even seen a lot of benefits as well from it. So
that is great. And isn't it funny? It's not always this way, but I find that a lot of times men will start and then they'll think, yeah, I'm noticing something, but I'm fine. I can go without, or whatever. Not saying that your husband, said this, but then they start, after they have not taken the product for a while, they're like, I think I need to start that again.
Well, he's been still in my probiotic on my nightstand, and I started counting them. I'm like, listen, dude, no, we'll order you some more, but you're gonna have to wait until yours comes in the mail because I ain't. No.
He's a closet Plexus user right now.
Yeah. He's trying to find it where he can and see if he found a pink drink somewhere in my purse or something.
Oh, that is the greatest. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story. We often ask others to join us and share their stories because there are so many out there, and so many of us need to hear these stories. And whether you are selling the products, not selling, sharing the products, or just taking them for yourself, you're still a messenger of things that you love. And so just by sharing what you love about Plexus, can help somebody else, whether you're wanting the business side of things or not. And so we love, love, love when people share with others because it's so beneficial. We have found in many, 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 many issues that we deal with on a daily basis. So thank you again, my dear. Marla has a prize that she is offering to anybody or somebody, I should say. Go ahead and take it away, Marla.
Okay, thank you, Deanna, for sharing. I just love hearing testimonies. And, you know, just like you're helping your friends and family, you have people that can do the same. And it's just, we're blessing others is what we're doing. So thank you for sharing. Okay, can you guys see the wheel?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I put in some fun prizes in here. As you can see, a lot of cash and a bag of microbiome slim bag. So the reason I really wanted to start doing this on our Zooms is Plexus Corporate every Friday. They do this for their staff around 1:30. They all get together and they do this spin the wheel. So they draw names and whoever's name gets to spin it. And a lot of times Tarl and Alec will double it. And they hand out cash. I mean, what a morale booster and I've been there twice for those drawings. And what really is cool when you walk into Plexus Corporate, you guys, is there's a healthy buzz. I always felt like in younger classrooms, I'm an early childhood minor. I always said healthy classrooms for kids is when there's a healthy buzz and they're comfortable and there's conversations. And so anyway, that's what and you walk around, I would ask staff, you know, how long have you been working here? And they all just love coming to work. I mean, it's just cool. So anyway, we're going to thank you for being on here by spinning the wheel. And I hope to continue this. So what you guys get to do, since I couldn't put your names in ahead of time, is I want you to pick a number between 1 and 50. And you're going to have to tell me it because I can't see the chat when I share the
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, unless, yeah. So, oh no, I can. It moved up here. There it is. Okay. So
Yeah.
put in your number. And if you see somebody else put the number in, you can't pick the same one. So make sure you're reading the chat. So click on chat, type in your number between 1 and 50. Okay.
If anyone can't find where to put it or how to put it, just unmute yourself and tell us, and we'll put it in there for you.
Okay, whoever Bissy is, you sent it directly to me. So when you put it in the chat, you can toggle it to send it to everybody. So 25 is already taken, you guys. She sent it directly to me, but 25 is what she picked.
Yep, it's on
Yep,
here.
now she got it. Yep, she did it twice.
Yep.
Good job. She caught on
Perfect.
fast.
Very
Okay. So did everyone, is that everybody? It looks like it. The number I picked was 25. So I need to know who Bissy is.
Yay!
So what's your name? Do you want to just unmute yourself?
Hey, it's Elizabeth Cox.
Cox. Oh, okay. Congrats.
Well, thank you. That was,
Okay, I'm gonna spin it. So I can't have you spin it. So I get to spin it. Okay. So let's watch and see what she wins.
Okay, here we go.
yeah, all right.
Big money, big money.
No whammies.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Awesome.
$25. So how
I
would
love
you-
it. Thanks, Marla.
You bet. Now, who loves to win cash? Anybody else?
Yes, keep paying it out.
Yes.
So I'll talk to you later and we'll figure out how to get it to you. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been great hanging out with you guys.
Oh, good.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad. Is this your first Zoom?
It's been a while. I've been in one before, but it's been a while. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's always good to hear the stories and what you guys have to share. So thank you.
You bet. Do you want to just tell where you're from and who helped you get started with Plexus?
Yeah, I live in Waite Park, Minnesota. Diane Bailey is my neighbor, and she has been instrumental at introducing all of this to me. I think I got started in last November. Just saw her success on it and was interested. So she's been helping me out.
Yes, and I believe you started, didn't you start just with the pink drink? Am I correct on that?
Yes, exactly.
And now what are you taking?
So now I do the triplex, and then I've added the active and the greens.
So do you want to just share a couple bullets of what you love so far and what progress you've had?
Well,
spot.
yeah, the biggest thing was I have a history of colon cancer. So gut health is just been on the forefront of my daily life since then. It's really helped just feeling less bloated, feeling more regular, I guess. Just a lot of changes as far as just, regularity and feeling healthier as far as that goes. And then just learning about what the products do and trying to make small changes to feel better. And I haven't lost any weight, but that may just be coming along somewhere along the line.
Yeah, maybe this IF will trigger something for you with that.
Right. Yes. I'm excited to get that started and see what that's all about.
Yes, great. Yeah, we have, I think, over 65 that have committed to the IF now already, and it was a quick decision to do it. And I'm so glad I decided.
Nice.
Yeah, because it really isn't any prep. You just have to learn and just dip your toes in and move forward and just try some things, So if anyone has any questions about that, I can stop the recording. I can stay on and answer any, but just comment in the posts, questions there. It goes 14 days. There will be some prizes. And then we are going to do in April, we're doing a Hustle and Hydrate challenge. That's going to start April 11th. So that'll be challenging us to move our bodies, drink our water, and try the hydrate, get the hydrate in our body too. So that's going to be something to look forward to. And Kelly was talking about Leaders Retreat and convention. I just want to do a little plug there is leaders are born at events. And I think just believers are born at events. Like when you get to these events, you just truly see the heart of Plexus. You get to know the owners. They will stop and talk to you. They are so personable. And just every story that you will hear usually starts with someone wanting to get healthy. They didn't start to earn money. Most people are related to God, to God's journey with them. It's, I cry a lot whenever I go to these events because the training we had at Leaders Retreat, you guys, was the Chick-fil-A marketing. What was his title? I can't even think of it. David, what was his name, Kelly? I
can't think of it offhand.
He's the mastermind for Chick-fil-A's success. And the way he approaches marketing and treating people was so different than the fast food restaurant chains, because they didn't think of people as walking around with a dollar sign. They thought of people as, how can we add value to them? How can I'm here to help somebody. And so anyway, his message was serving others and adding value. And that's what we do so well on this team. And it's so fun to give back. So thank you all for being on. A couple things that, because Kelly's finished the book and I listen to a podcast, you guys, I listen to them all the time. Every time I walk, I put one in if I'm not walking with my husband. But 2 words to eliminate out of your vocabulary that I have tried to eliminate And I've tried to eliminate the word try too. So I shouldn't have said try right now, but are need and should. I read a book like 20 some years ago, Don't Should on Yourself, and it just stuck with me forever. But the word should invites guilt into your mindset. Here's just some of my notes. How should language, it robs us of being present and feeling joy in the moment. The connection between mom guilt and the words should and need are pretty common. And even grandma guilt and whatever guilt. It's just, we use it as a guilt. I need to get up in the morning. How about I get to, and in the positive sense. And there's many emotions that come up subconsciously when you say the word need. It's like a scarcity. It's a scarcity mindset. So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. So I wanted to plug that in, but thank you, Kelly. You did an amazing job leading the book study. And Kelly Hulst, you are just the best when it comes to explaining products and ingredients. I love your Sundays. Your cinnamon bark was amazing again. So we all learn from it, and thank you again. So I'll stop the recording. Thank you all. If anyone wants to stay on and just ask any questions about anything coming up, you can. Or Kelly, do you have any more, or anyone else have anything else to say?
No, I sure don't.
Okay, thank you all.
Good night.